I am 24 currently, and I do plan on being a millionaire doctor. I'm in medical school, yes, of course, and I'll just give you my plan on how I really plan to do it. Follow me up to the end. I've gained some form of knowledge and skill. So, knowledge and skill, that's what I will really use at first. My advantage here in this case that I've been a full-time medical student all through, and then I'm also a part-time or an online personal finance student, and I've learned a number of things about business. So I want to monetize my knowledge and skills. And I think I've started on that journey just by sharing here on YouTube and maybe sharing to a number of people. I just give you simple advice for those that really need advice. But for YouTube, I don't really give advice. I just share what I've done and what I feel like is right, right? Maybe with time the monetization will come in later, but I know this will take me a little longer. Let me just sketch a graph of how it will appear to the point of reaching the status that I really want to be. Okay, it will be a little short because of the space here. So currently, this is where I am, just utilizing my knowledge and skill to grow something that's big on across. Just monetize it all. And then honestly, I don't really want to use my knowledge and skill to get a job and work somewhere unless otherwise, but I really don't plan to do that. I plan to just utilize my skills and knowledge to solve a number of problems. There are a lot of things that are not covered, mainly in the niche in Africa, here in Uganda, and everywhere around like the African continent. I don't know, maybe the US, the UK. There are a lot of things have been solved, but here we have a fertile ground on whatever like you really want to start up. And so I feel that will just help me. There are a lot of things, mainly even in healthy care alone. A lot of problems haven't been solved, and I know some of them. I know them, and I've listed them down. Some I really don't know, but I'm yet to find out because I haven't maybe gotten full exposure of different areas, maybe besides the country or far beyond, apart from maybe physically. Because when you go into a place, personally, I like observations, and so when I reach there and I'm observing everything, how things are running, I can get an idea of what really they're facing and then which solution I can provide for them. And so that's how I'll be utilizing my knowledge and skill to reach to a millionaire status. My next steps is systems. So on this plan is systems. I plan to utilize systems to grow my network, like just that alone, growing my network and maybe getting employees to work for me on whatever like I'll be doing. I've realized that a lot of people that remain in a state where they are, or instead of maybe a middle class, they're self-employed. They don't have employees. If they do have, they have very few, but most of the work they love doing things hands-on by themselves. And that just consumes a lot of their time, and they end up being in that state, working every time, and just keeping the business running. That's the main goal, and that's the sole purpose all the time. So I said to this, and I was like, no, myself, and just planning that I'm a medical student here to be a medical doctor. I don't really wish to be at hospital every other time when this is my full-time goal. So I have to delegate some of the things to particular people, and also so that I can create more time for myself to learn more of the skills. Of course, with systems, they'll just help me go back to this so that I fill in the missing gaps where I've missed out, like to learn a little more of the knowledge and skill sometimes. And also just create, with a free mind, not so much focused on particular things. You can really have to think far beyond the box, and, to help me a little much better. And so my next plan is to live by 20% of my income. I don't really intend this just maybe to be so frugal, being deprived of things that I love. But I know with increased income, right? I know this 20% will be just enough for me to live a happy life. Because honestly, as a person, I don't really have a lot of demands that maybe I need to buy this, I need to buy the other. I can just live happily on a very, very minimal, like, can I say, with less being spent. So the more I earn, and maybe 20%, imagine I have like 100K, and then 20% of that is just too much enough, right, for me. So that's what I do plan on. But honestly, currently I'm not living by 20% because my income is very low. If I live by 20%, that means I'll be deprived of everything, even the life that I really want to live. I'll miss it out personally, like at that point. So that's the 20%. Let me just fill it here in this graph. And then my fourth and last plan is to compound. I've monetized my knowledge and skills. I've used that to build systems that will help me. I'm setting up a number of businesses, and these systems are helping me do that, right? Run the businesses, set up more and more businesses, and then for that I've really been able to learn and to earn a more and more income, right? So I'm able to live by 20% of that income. And so what will I use the remaining part of that money, right? So that's where now the fourth one will come in. That's to compound my money. So this is why I really plan to invest in the, can I say, the generic forms of investment. Buy a few stocks, buy real estate, and buy all those things that really help me to diversify my portfolio and create multiple income streams, right? To just come onto the pool so that they can pull together this all with all the sources. They can all pull together to 1 million status at 34. Yeah, so now I'm 24 years old and I'm in medical school, right? And so I really want to follow this to the end, and that's my entire plan. So if you really plan to do the same, to join me, yeah, thank you. You're most welcome, and let's follow the journey. Next time, bye.